Your knowledge of contract language is imperative.
You must know what a violation looks like if you wish to be active in its cessation.
It is important to understand that being active and knowledgeable affects your overall bargaining strength.
Together, we can forge a more militant NALC.
Good morning, and welcome back to Parcels of Knowledge, that podcast dedicated to delivering knowledge to the city letter carrier, with your host, the Roseville Wrecking Ball. Today is going to be a short one. Honestly, I just really want to do another episode because I have received some recording equipment from Rick Rock, and I want to test it out. Do I sound different? I think this stuff is great, and I thank Rick Rock for giving it to me. It's really cool setup he has gifted me. I feel like before I started using this, I probably had the most basic setup in the business. Literally just a microphone. Now I have a board and everything. It's crazy. Thank you again, Rick Rock. I got to get used to using this. I might not sound perfect today, but I'm going to try my best. But let's get a round of applause for Rick Rock. Yeah, the board he gave me has a bunch of sound effects, and I can record them, so I think that's going to be kind of cool. Now, I'm not going to go through the motions of a podcast without actually mentioning some sort of educational material. I do want to talk to you folks about PTFs being sent out of the office. With more and more PTFs being established in offices across the country, because it seems like CCAs are meeting their 2-year requisite more and more often, there are more and more complaints about PTFs being sent to the other offices. It makes sense, to be honest, because if you're hired into your installation for a reason, you have the expectation to work there. That's what you applied for. But management has other plans, sending you to other offices on a regular basis. There is a way to fight this, and it comes from a neighboring branch, Branch 2184. They've concocted a way to fight PTFs being sent out of the office, but it might not work for everyone. So I'll start with the language that covers PTFs being sent out of the office. This comes out of Article 12.5.B.5. It states, in relevant part, full-time and part-time flexible employees, involuntarily detailed or reassigned from one installation to another who qualify for relocation benefits shall be given not less than 60 days advance notice if possible. They shall receive moving, mileage, per diem, and reimbursement for movement of household goods as appropriate, if legally payable, as governed by the standardized government travel regulations set forth in the applicable handbook. Full-time and part-time flexible employees involuntarily detailed or reassigned from one installation to another who do not qualify for relocation benefits shall be given not less than 30 days advance notice if possible. Management uses that language to justify sending PTFs to other offices, and that makes sense. It's hard to fight the if possible clause. If possible leaves the door open because it's nearly impossible to overcome. Well, the folks at 2184 have shown us all that it is possible. Recently, they have been getting favorable decisions when they use management's willingness to send them out so often against them. So when you send a CCA or PTF out of the office, it requires management to fill out a 1723. This part is necessary, so if they're not doing that already, please make sure that they are, because it is needed to prove your case for this issue. If your office is anything like the offices in Michigan, they will hire a ton of CCAs for a few installations and loan them out on a daily basis to where they think that they are needed. This is bullshit and causes a lot of issues. But this can be used to your advantage when it comes to the notice for PTFs. If management's loaning out CCAs on a regular basis, well, then you can prove that this is reoccurring of nature and therefore somewhat predictable. What we should be arguing is, look here, out of the past 6 months, we have loaned out CCAs 80% of the time. Management's doing this on a regular, reoccurring basis, and therefore, the 30 or 60-day notice needed to be given to PTFs to be involuntarily detailed is possible. I think this is a great argument. Just make sure you have your 1723s to show that CCAs were loaned and on what days. This is given to you by the F21 as the controlling document. If management isn't making 1723s, then that is another grievance. I would file it every time until they start making 1723s, because it's the controlling document for when you are doing something that is not in accordance with your Form 50, which your Form 50 dictates what office you are working at. So, every time you work at an office that is not on your Form 50, a 1723 must be generated and filled out. It's not a slam dunk. It requires people to have offices that regularly loan out CCAs. But I think this is a great argument, and I thank Mark Owen and Chris Shaw from 2184 for letting me know about this argument. We need to be thinking outside of the box a lot more often. And this is the perfect example. Oftentimes, National might roll over in the face of a fight that is difficult, but hell, if the city letter carrier cares about it, we should maintain an upright zeal to fight for them. This is the perfect example of how we should be fighting. All right, so on Friday, I will be having the Macho Mailman on in a new segment, and I will be doing where I will just interview everyday mail carriers. And I know, he's no everyday mail carrier. He is the fucking Macho Mailman. But I'll be doing this every so often. Won't be an educational podcast that day, but it'll be fun. So tune in on Friday, and you can hear me and the Macho Mailman have a conversation. It might be posted Saturday, so if it's not up on Friday, it'll be up Saturday. Also, on Sunday, I'll be interviewing Corey Walton for Monday's episode. So please, if you have any questions for him, submit them to me at rosevillewreckingball@yahoo.com. The email will be in the description. Hopefully, you learned something valuable today. And as always, have a good day.
Shout out to the Roseville Wrecking Ball. He is an Article 8 scholar, and thank God. We need Article 8 scholars right now. The Grievous Genius and the Roseville Wrecking Ball doing amazing work.
Brothers and sisters, this guy is good, man. He's fucking good.
And my boy Joshua, he killed it. Man, he's lockstep right now. He's killing it.
You would think this guy is